Before we dive into how business analysis and process modeling can support an accountant's understanding, let's start out with some basic definitions. Okay, we're going to start out with a business process, which is defined as a sequence of business activities that use resources to transform specific inputs into specific outputs to achieve a business goal. Business analysis is the process of defining business process requirements and evaluating potential improvements. Then a business model is just a simple abstract representation of one or more business process. And further documentation explains how that business process and business system works, and it's a tool for information transmission and communication. So let's take a look at what we might have out there at your either existing firm or future firm for business process documentation. You could have a business process model. There could be written business rules. For sure, a user manual or training manuals, product specifications, software manuals, schedules, organizational charts, and strategic plans. You know, if you're new to an organization, and even if you're not, ask for these. These do exist, and sometimes they're overlooked by veteran employees because they might be, you know, the go-to document for when the external auditors come in. But you know what? They're really valuable to internal employees as well. You know, and to a new employee, they can be a real time saver to get you up to speed very quickly on what this business is doing, how they do it, and how they mitigate their risks while doing, you know, what they're doing. When you get out into industry, one thing you're going to hear a lot of is Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. This is required for publicly traded companies monitored by the SEC or the Securities and Exchange Commission. This made documentation essential for businesses. That's why I said in the previous slide, hey, you know, this documentation, it does exist at your organization, especially if you're publicly traded. It requires managers to assess and attest to the business's internal control structure. It requires external auditors to audit management's assessments of the effectiveness of the internal controls and express an opinion on the company's internal controls, you know, over financial reporting. Although documenting can be an overwhelming process if you are the one responsible for documenting, there are many benefits. Just the first one on the slide here, employee training. Though never anticipated, employee turnover can really slow down a process. Having documentation can really ease the burden on employee turnover when it does happen. You know, we've got internal and external audit requirements, and right under that we have accountability. You know, those two kind of, to me, go hand in hand. It's a big benefit that now the internal auditor has a process that it can follow up on and hold those accountable that need to follow the process. It also creates an opportunity to standardize communication within the enterprise. If everybody is documenting and from the same template, it just creates a standard. You know, you can easily move from one process to the next. And standardized communication between the enterprise and its customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders as well. You know, and lastly, you know, once you have a good documentation system in place, you're not done. You know, you should regularly practice reviewing them with an eye for continuous improvement. So, you know, look at them for effectiveness, efficiency, and internal controls. Are what we wanted to do, is that what is happening? Or are our controls working? And compliance, it does the process comply with constantly changing local, state, federal, and international laws. You know, that's a good point. You know, compliance is one of those areas that changes very often and very quickly. And by annually or more regularly reviewing your business process documentation, you're also kind of confirming that you are up to speed with all those changes maybe in the compliance area. Thanks for joining me.